morning, and I don't have any inside information. The lady that did it, she got in there. She made it happen.
And he doesn't shy away from opinion.
And I do enjoy drinking cold beer at ballparks. So if that makes me a baseball fan, then I'm a diehard baseball fan.
It's Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
And a very good Friday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM with Dylan Denmark. The Hacker Ryan Green with you. Glad you are with us. A Friday night that finds us on the doorstep of probably the biggest regular season home football game for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the last 3 years. Sunday, 1 o'clock, first place on the line, the 8-4 Indianapolis Colts, the 8-4 Jacksonville Jaguars. And we will certainly spend a lot of time on that. I will give you my final thoughts and my prediction. I've really been going back and forth on it all week. I could see it going either way. I'll give you my thoughts on it in just a moment. We will talk an awful lot about that game tonight, as you can imagine. Former Pro Bowl offensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. You hear him every day on XL Primetime. You also get him with me Sundays during the fifth quarter. My buddy Leon Searcy will join us to give his final thoughts on the Jaguars and the Colts. Also, the coach Gerald Ingram, who you also get with us on the fifth quarter Sundays. 18 years as a running backs coach in the National Football League. The man has 2 Super Bowl rings on his fingers from his time with the New York Football Giants. We will get the coach's thoughts on this big one Sunday at 1 o'clock. So a ton of Jaguar Colts thoughts. Also, we'll do a lot of college talk as well. John Sumrall actually playing tonight as he's coaching his Tulane football team in the American Conference Championship game that kicks off in a matter of moments. They play North Texas. The winner of that game likely to go to the college football playoff. So Gator fans, if you haven't seen your new head coach in action, you'll be able to this evening in that American Conference Championship game. And we will talk about the absolute carousel of SEC coaches that we saw this week. New coaches at Ole Miss, at Arkansas, at Auburn, Kentucky, and then obviously LSU and Florida. My buddy Mike Huguenin, the man is an absolute college football encyclopedia. He's done it for years. He joins us coming up here later on in the program tonight here on Hacker After Dark. I will tell you before we get to our big deal of the night, and we mentioned this last night, there are 4 area high school football teams that are playing right now in their respective classification state semifinals. 2 of our teams are going to go to the state championship. The Bolles Bulldogs are destroying Cardinal Gibbons. Bolles is up 35-6 second quarter action. Bolles is well on their way to playing for a 2A state championship. And then also Raines, very little trouble with Sarasota Booker right now. Raines up 21-0 out at the Graveyard. Raines well on their way to play for a 3A state championship. Trinity Christian down in South Florida does trail Chaminade Madonna 14-0 at the half. And Ponte Vedra keeping it respectable with Lakeland, the powerful Lakeland team. Lakeland up 14-3 on Ponte Vedra in the second quarter. But it is looking very good right now for both Bolles and Raines to advance and play for a state championship next week. So we're glad you're with us to close out the week here on Hacker After Dark. As always, we are with you until 10 o'clock. Every night on HAD, we do kick it off with a big deal of the night. And Dylan Denmark, let's do that right now.
Time now for the big deal of the night.
What's the big deal?
What is the big deal?
No big deal. It is a big deal.
On Hacker After Dark.
September 21st, 2014. Where were you in life? September 21st of 2014. Well, let me do the math on myself. I'm 42 years old. September of 2014, I was a month away from turning 30. I was 29. That's how long it's been. Actually, check that. I was a month away from turning 32. I was 31. 42 now. I was 31 then. That's the Wolfson math on a Friday night. It's been a long week. But you get the point. 42 years old now, 31, the last time that Indianapolis came in here and won a football game. Over 8,100 days, 11 years, 2 months, and 18 days. That's an anomaly. That just doesn't happen. Division rivals that come to your house every year, regardless if you're good, bad, average, you don't beat your division rival 11 consecutive times. One of those games was in London. So the last 10 times Indianapolis has come here, they have lost. Will that streak continue on Sunday? Honestly, I have gone back and forth on this all week. I see a world, I'll be honest with you, I see a world where Indianapolis wins this game. They've lost 3 out of 4. They have a much more daunting schedule with games at Seattle, at Houston, home San Francisco, and home Jacksonville remaining. They've heard about the streak all week. They're tired of hearing about the streak. Daniel Jones wants to prove people wrong, that he can still win with that injured leg. I would say there's probably a lot of motivation for the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor has not had good performances the last couple of games. He's due for a breakout performance. We saw what Alec Pierce did to the Jaguars secondary last year. You combine him with Michael Pittman Jr., Joshua Downs, obviously include the rookie Tyler Warren, who's probably going to be a Pro Bowler this year. This is a good Indianapolis Colts football team. They absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, make no mistake about it, they absolutely can come in here on Sunday and beat the Jaguars. And it would not be an upset because the Indianapolis Colts are the favorite in this game. Vegas has them as a 1.5-point favorite. The Jaguars are home underdogs in a battle for first place in the division on the first Sunday in December. That's what Vegas thinks of the Jaguars. A home dog to a team that's lost 3 out of 4 and a team that hasn't won here in over 8,100 days. Having said all that, this game on Sunday sort of reminds me of the Kansas City Monday night game. Obviously, you're not playing against Patrick Mahomes. I don't mean in that regard. I mean, that was a must-win for Kansas City, right? They came in here at 2-2. The Jaguars were 3-1. Kansas City knew what was at stake. The Jaguars got Kansas City's best shot. Kansas City played well in that game. They had some special teams issues a few times, some penalties, but Mahomes did not play a bad game. Their defense did not play a bad game. Kansas City played well enough to win. The Jaguars had to take it from them. And that is what they did back on October the 6th. I expect something very similar on Sunday. I expect Indianapolis to play well. They're not going to give you anything. It wouldn't surprise me if Jonathan Taylor gets going a little bit. It wouldn't surprise me if Daniel Jones throws a couple of touchdowns. It wouldn't surprise me if that Colts defense forces a turnover or two. I expect Indianapolis to come in here, play well. You will absolutely get the Colts' best shot on Sunday. And in years past, that wasn't always the case. The Colts have faltered here. I don't expect them to falter. But you know what I do expect? I expect Jacksonville to beat them. I think Jacksonville is ready, just like they were against Kansas City. I think they will absorb Indianapolis's best shot. I think there will be some highs and lows emotionally for you, the Jaguar fan base, on Sunday. I think you'll be biting nails in the fourth quarter, just like you were against the Chiefs on Monday night. But this Jaguar football team, many more times than not this year, has proven that they know how to win games late, particularly at home. Houston at home, Kansas City at home. They have done a good job in that department. I think they do it again. I think it is a back and forth battle. I think it is one of the games of the week. I think both teams are going to lay it on the line. And I think in the end, the Jacksonville Jaguars will find a way to defeat the Indianapolis Colts. Give me Jacksonville 27. Give me Indianapolis 24. Maybe a Cam Little field goal wins it. Maybe a touchdown late for Trevor. I like the Jaguars by a field goal. And I think Jacksonville assumes first place in the AFC South. Again, this is not going to be easy on Sunday. The Colts' backs are against the wall. They are going to come out punching, scratching, and clawing. They know how important this game is. Honestly, it's a huge game for both teams. But keep in mind, just looking at it on paper, the Jaguars still have games against the lowly Jets and the woeful Titans. The Colts don't have that. They're going to Seattle. They got San Francisco at home. They got the Jags again, and then they're going to Houston to end the year. This is a vital game for Jacksonville. This is a must-win game, in my opinion, for Indianapolis. You will get their best shot on Sunday. But I believe you will absorb that, and you will do enough to win the game 27-24. Give me the Jaguars with a huge home win at what should be a rocking Everbank Stadium. Isn't this what we've wanted, Jaguar fans? A game in December, first place in the division on the line, two teams battling for playoff positioning, going at it. Isn't this what you have clamored for years and years and years? Well, you got it in your own backyard, Sunday, 1 o'clock, Everbank Stadium. I expect that to be a playoff-type atmosphere in the crowd. It should be one heck of a scene, and we, of course, will have the fifth quarter for you here on 1010XL, 2 hours after the game goes final on Sunday. Myself, the coach Gerald Ingram, and the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy. Speaking of the Pro Bowler, let's talk with Leon Searcy about your 8-4 Jacksonville Jaguars. He's played in many games like this over his 11 years in the National Football League. Let's preview Jaguars Colts. My buddy Leon Searcy joins me next on a Friday night here in Northeast Florida. Jacksonville, we're glad you're heading into the weekend with us. It's Hacker After Dark, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser share the huddle with Freddie T. Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein and Robbins and Monahan Jewelers.
Fred Taylor, he's a candidate to go the distance.
On 1010XL.
Truth Teller here, and I've solved all of your holiday problems and stress. A gift card from the Blue Crab Crab House. Get this, you buy a $50 gift card, and you get an additional $15 card for free. It's that simple, and as always at the Blue Crab Crab House, the best crabs in Jacksonville, oysters and seafood, period. Blue Crab Crab House, open every day except for Monday, off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road.
This is Jeff Middlecoff with Cogent Bank. My associate Ryan Salem and I joined Cogent Bank because we wanted to revolutionize the mortgage business, just like Cogent Bank has revolutionized the banking business. So Ryan Salem and I are able to leverage the power and stability of Cogent Bank to go out and find our clients the best investors, the best products, and the best rates in the entire country for your particular mortgage loan. Of course, you don't have to be a customer at Cogent Bank to take advantage of our mortgage services to buy or refinance your home. We offer jumbo loans, VA, FHA, conventional, and investment loans. At Cogent Bank, we offer mortgages nationwide, so we can help you with a second home or help a family member who lives or is moving to another state. Call Ryan Salem or myself, Jeff Middlecoff, at Cogent Bank today, 904-442-9191, to see how we can help you with any of your mortgage loan needs, whatever or wherever they may be.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, Cogent Bank, NMLS ID 402296, Ryan Salem, NMLS ID 1182429, Jeff Middlecoff, NMLS ID 249086.
Get an inside look at football's greatest position with Denny Thompson.
I'm Denny Thompson, and they call me the quarterback whisperer.
He shares his insights Friday mornings on The Drill. Tuned up by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet on 1010XL.
Look around and we know you've got options for gasoline, but those other places, they're not in the business of more. At Shell, that's what you get every day. Members get more rewards, more savings, more special offers. You'll even get 10 cents per gallon off of your first fill when you sign up, and save on every fill after that. Choose to get more and more with every drive. Join the Shell Fuel Rewards program today at fuelrewards.com. Offer valid at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized Cash Rewards or unlimited Cash Rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America NA in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. Awards. Here's our
See the shots and feel the excitement of an international sporting event for free. The Predator Pro Billiard Series comes to Jacksonville December 16th to the 21st at the Hyatt Riverfront downtown. See top pool pros from 40 countries compete in both men's and women's tournaments. This is high stakes, high skill, championship level billiards, and admission is free. No tickets needed. Don't miss the Predator Pro Billiard Series at the Hyatt Riverfront Hotel. Details at probilliardseries.com.
Welcome to Rockville. Returns to Daytona International Speedway May 7th through 10th with Foo Fighters, My Chemical Romance, Guns N' Roses, and Bring Me the Horizon. Plus, Turnstile, Five Finger Death Punch, The Offspring, Breaking Benjamin, A Day to Remember, Godsmack, and so many more. Welcome to Rockville, May 7th through 10th. Passes on sale now for as low as $1 down at welcometoRockville.com.
If Santa had a pit crew, it'd look a lot like Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Fast, friendly, and they get the job done in 15 minutes while you stay in your car. No appointment needed. Just pull up and let their technicians handle the rest. With convenient locations, a 4.7-star national rating, and ranked #1 quick lube by Forbes, Valvoline delivers service even Santa would trust. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, helping Jacksonville reduce the stress of holiday travel.
1010XL, presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line.
Hello.
Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. We got a big one on Sunday at Everbank Stadium. The 8-4 Colts, the 8-4 Jaguars. First place in the AFC South on the line. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock. Of course, 2 hours after that game goes final, myself, the coach Gerald Ingram, and the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy will have the fifth quarter for you. And Leon Searcy, you hear him every day on XL Primetime. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Leon, how we doing, man?
Doing good, bro.
You know, you and I obviously had the fifth quarter together on Sunday, a big win over the Titans. And now, Leon, that sets up a huge game, maybe the biggest regular season home game in probably 3 years with the Jaguars and the Colts this Sunday.
Heck, I mean, listen, if you play this game long enough, I was fortunate enough to play 11 years in the NFL. 8 of those years I made the playoffs. And I always got excited this time of the year because December meant you're only games away from making the playoff, and you need to be playing your best football in this month to carry over to what you hope could be a nice playoff run. I mean, if you're a Jaguar player, you're a Jaguar fan, if you're not excited about this week, I wonder if you got a heartbeat. This is a big game in our stadium, in our hometown, amongst our fans. I expect nothing but the best from this Jaguar team come Sunday.
Against a division rival, and again, first place in the division on the line. Leon, let's briefly look back at the win over the Titans. I know you and I spoke about this on the fifth quarter. Look, You're playing an inferior football team. You're expected to go out there and dominate. And to the Jaguars' credit, that is exactly what they did.
Yeah, this team is growing up right before our eyes, to be quite frank, Hack. You know, the days of old, this Jaguar team, this would have been a trap game. This would have been a situation where we did play as well and probably end up losing the game by a field goal or something like that. But I like the fact that Liam Cohen and this new regime has a business about ball about them. You know, going into Tennessee is never an easy task. Well, listen, we had an opportunity maybe 2 years ago where we went to Tennessee. If we had won the game, we'd have went to the playoffs and we lost the game. But this team, unlike the teams a couple of years ago, man, this team has a backbone. This team has a spirit about them that they're just resilient. They find a way to get it done, and that's what I can appreciate about them. You know, they might be down with defensive tackles, down with offensive linemen, down with wide receivers, down with guys in the secondary, but next man up, and that's coaching. That's coaching, getting guys who may not be as prominent as your starters, but getting them to play effectively enough to where we're winning football games.
Former Jaguar Pro Bowl offensive tackle Leon Searcy. Leon, let's talk about your bread and butter, the offensive line. Certainly a ton of injuries along the O-line. They're mismatching and you know, doing this and doing that to piecemeal it together. But overall, I thought they performed pretty well, including Cole Van Lanen. That guy has played 4 different spots on the O-line in the last 3 games, and he has performed very, very well.
He has. I mean, he's a Swiss Army knife. I mean, his versatility is what's keeping them in the league. I mean, if you're a backup guy and you only play one position, you become expendable. But if you're a backup guy and you can play right guard, you can play right tackle, you can play left tackle in this game and be effective. I'm not saying that he was dominant in capacity, but he's effective enough to where, you know, Trevor has the time to throw the ball. So, yeah, this is a patchwork offensive line. Hopefully we can get healthy down the stretch. My little concerns last week against the Titans was ineffectiveness to run the football, and we're going to need that down the stretch if we're going to be making this playoff push. But I thought overall the offensive line played sound.
Leon, what was your thought on Trevor Lawrence's performance last week in Nashville?
I think he had the best 2 quarters and a half, maybe all year long. I mean, when Liam Coles talks about, you know, letting it rip, I don't think he's telling Trevor to be reckless with the ball. I think he's telling Trevor to be confident with your throws. And that's, I mean, I saw in that game Sunday against the Titans, I saw a confident throwing Trevor who wasn't indecisive, you know, who was confident and where he was throwing the ball. And you could tell. I mean, a lot of those balls that he threw was spot on. They weren't behind. They weren't too high. They weren't too low. So I think for at least maybe a quarter and a half, maybe 2 quarters, I think I saw the best throwing-wise Trevor Lawrence has done all season long.
And it was the best game for Jakobi Meyers, 6 grabs, 90 yards, another touchdown. Leon, in 4 games, Jakobi Meyers has 18 catches for 245 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, what an acquisition he was at the trade deadline.
He was, absolutely. And you could tell, I mean, with his fearlessness going across the middle, a lot of those plays that Trevor's throwing to him, you know, they're cross the middle type of plays, or they're long stretch plays where he's got a corner and a safety, you know, a safety over the top and a corner on the back of his heel. So I think that's being able to throw in the middle of the field with a reliable wide receiver. I think that does wonders for not only your offense, but it does wonders for Trevor. And this is not a knock on BTJ. I don't want to pile on, early on the season because that's forgotten. But now BTJ, I mean, if he's seeing this guy have all this kind of success, if you got any kind of spirit of competition in you, I mean, you definitely want to help with the transition of this offense and its success.
Couple of more for Leon Searcy. Leon, I want to certainly spend some time on the Indianapolis game. Final thought from last week, Joshua Hines-Allen. Look, at times, I think you and I both have been critical of his performance, but there's no doubt in the last, I'd say, month, really since the bye week, we have seen a different Joshua Hines-Allen.
Yeah, we have, absolutely. I mean, listen, and we're going to pile on him early on in the season because, I mean, quite frankly, he had like 5 or 6 games where he only had like 2 sacks. And when you get the bag, the expectations are elevated as far as your performance as a player. But as of the last 3 games, I mean, he's got 5 sacks. And he's got all these pressures, and he's getting after the quarterback. And that's good. Listen, I don't want to celebrate the man for doing his job, but that's what he gets paid to do. You get paid to be a wrecking ball on this defense, and then you're a man down with Trayvon Walker not playing, and you were 2-man down with Trayvon Walker and Eric Armstead being down in the Titans game. So you got to step your game up, and that's what he did. I mean, a lot of the stuff that he was doing in that Titans game, I mean, getting pressures, getting sacks, running over offensive linemen. That when you're paid to be elite, you got to play elite, and it's good to see him playing elite the last couple of weeks.
All right, Leon, let's look ahead to the Colts. You and I and the coach, Gerald Ingram, will have the 5th quarter on Sunday, 2 hours after the Jaguars and Colts go final. First place in the AFC South is on the line. Leon, I understand the streak doesn't mean anything, but I'm just curious from a guy like you that played 11 years in the league. The Colts haven't won here since September of 2014. They play here every year. How can you explain that?
I don't know, Hack. It's a phenomenon that I can't explain it. I can't explain the fact that in many of those occasions, the Colts had the better team, but just came to Jacksonville and couldn't get it done for whatever reason, whatever rhyme or reason. But that's going to be the sentiment all week long by that coaching staff in Indianapolis is that we can't win in Jacksonville. So that's going to inspire them even more. So, I mean, they're going to play hard. They're absolutely going to play hard. And I hope we play harder. I hope we're not relying on that streak. I mean, this is a different ball club led by Daniel Jones. And Jonathan Taylor is having a phenomenal season running the football. The offensive line has always been solid. The defensive front has always been solid. Now they might be down Sauce Gardner because I think he might have an Achilles that he's dealing with, so he's out. But this is going to be for the division. I mean, for this week, and that's how the Jaguars have got to approach it. This is a playoff game. This is absolute playoff. This is the difference between hosting or going on the road. And I would take my chances in the playoff at home rather to go on the road. So Jacksonville has got to win this game. Absolutely has got to win this game. And I think Liam is I think he's making a point of emphasis on this game and how important it is to win on Sunday.
It's an enormous game for both teams. And from Indianapolis' point of view, they've already lost 2 in a row. They have to go to Seattle after they come to Jacksonville. So I have no doubt the Colts are looking at this as a must-win situation. Leon, it's not rocket science. The Jaguars have to stop Jonathan Taylor. How do they go about doing that?
Well, you've got to get, first and foremost, you got to get healthy up front, especially interior of the defensive front. And, hopefully we can get, Eric Armstead. I don't know what his status is this week. Hopefully we can get him back. Hopefully Mason Smith can still play formidable. That he's done a decent job interiorly wise, but you got to make them one-dimensional. And they've got some bona fide wide receivers playing in this game, and we haven't been able to stop a tight end all season long, so they've got one of those as well. So we just got to play with the resilience. We got to make them one-dimensional. And, Daniel Jones is also dealing with a fractured, fibula, tibia, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be as mobile as you would want him to be. So, he's going to be, he's going to be in the pocket. So we've got to put pressure on him in the pocket. We got to stop Jonathan Taylor, and we got to get some turnovers. I saw them play the Steelers a couple of weeks back, and the Steelers just got after him pretty good. 6 sacks, all kind of turnovers. They look unlike themselves. So, and that was in Pittsburgh. So we're at home. We've got the advantage. We got the crowd noise on our behalf. So we've got to make a point of emphasis to make sure that we stop the run, get turnovers, and get sacks, and take this division by the throat.
Leon, as we wrap up, to me, this is very similar to Kansas City from a national perspective. There's not a lot of people right now that are taking Jacksonville very seriously. They're the 8-4 but team. Yeah, they're 8-4 but this, or they're 8-4 but that. If you go out there and if you knock out Indianapolis, a team that everybody was loving on just 2 short weeks ago, I think this is another opportunity to send a statement to the league. It is an opportunity for Jacksonville to really establish themselves heading into the postseason.
Yeah, I agree, Hack. But listen, we don't need any outside validation. We know who we are. All right, we know who we are as a team, so we don't need anybody's stamp of approval by the national pundits or whoever it may be. This team is earned the right to be in this position by the way they battled week in and week out, and to hell with everybody else. That's what we did when we played. To hell with everybody else. We don't need anybody's validation for where we are, what we've established, what we have become. Just keep winning. Just keep winning ball games. Let the dollars keep dialing, and you just keep winning. And then playoff time comes, you just keep winning there too. So right now, all that matters right now is that the Colts are in our way. They're absolutely in our way, and we should treat the game as such.
One of the best offensive linemen to ever play for the Jacksonville Jaguars, my buddy Leon Searcy. Leon, leave us with this. You're a Miami Hall of Famer. Well, you guys are getting the business by the committee, man. How angry are you that Notre Dame is 2 spots ahead right now, even though you beat them head-to-head?
It won't last. The most refreshing thing that was said by the committee members is that they're going to rank teams after the conference championship. So we still got a glimmer of hope. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to be a huge Texas Tech fan when they play BYU, and that might be our opportunity to get it. I don't see any other way than Texas Tech beating BYU, or maybe Alabama losing to Georgia. A third loss to Alabama. I can't see them keeping them in, but we'll see. It was just refreshing to hear the committee members say that we're going to re-rank the teams once the conference championships are over, so that maybe that might be our opportunity to get in.
You get Leon Searcy every day on XL Primetime, and Sunday you'll get him 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Colts go final, along with myself and the coach Gerald Ingram on the 5th quarter. Leon, have a terrific couple of days. I will see you Sunday evening, my friend.
You got it.
There you go, Leon Searcy again every week here on Hacker After Dark, and roughly about 6 o'clock Sunday night, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Colts go final, we will have the 5th quarter for you here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. More on the Jaguars and the Colts coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. Coming up next, what a week it was in the coaching ranks for the Southeastern Conference. In the last 5 days, brand new head coaches at Arkansas, Ole Miss, Auburn, Kentucky, LSU, and of course Florida. Wild stuff, including John Sumrall, the brand new coach of the Florida Gators. Let's talk about all of it with a man that I call the college football encyclopedia, my buddy Mike Huguenin. He's covered it for years. He's one of my favorites to talk college football with, and he joins me next on a Friday night here in Jacksonville, Florida. We're glad you're with us. Heading into the weekend, we're with you till 10 o'clock. It's Hacker After Dark, 1010XL 92.5 FM.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web. Precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At sportsforecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. Sportsforecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
With the holidays right around the corner and it's time to get ready for family and friends, what better way to do it than with Zero Res? Carpets, air ducts, hardwood, LVP, tile and grout, upholstery, rugs, and stone. Zero Res, they can handle it all. Call right now, 287-5727, or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them you want the 1010XL special and get 20% off all hard surface cleaning, tile and grout, hardwood, and LVP. Spots are filling up fast, so don't wait. Happy holidays from all of us at Zero Res.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
The best financial move you can make this time of year? How about lowering your mortgage rate to 4.99% fixed APR, the lowest rate in years? How about getting up to $500,000 out of your home equity in the process? You can do it now by calling Loan Pronto. Hey, it's Prosser here, and with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can get a ton of cash, pay off all those high-interest credit cards, and skip up to 2 house payments. One homeowner just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. Wiped out their credit cards and 2 car loans, saved $2,100 a month. So don't wait. No hard credit pull up front, and you probably won't even need an appraisal. Just fast, easy cash from your home's equity. Act now. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Start the new year by wiping out your high-interest debt. 904-999-1508. And you can see how much cash you can get today. That's loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, APR for well-qualified buyers. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The holidays are just around the corner, and so is your entire family.
Babe, the toilet's growling at me again.
Uh-oh, the kitchen sink just turned into Old Faithful. There's no hot water!
Don't let plumbing chaos steal your holiday cheer. Call Duck Duck Rooter today to fix those issues before Aunt Linda blames you for ruining Christmas dinner. Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing pros. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. If you're dreaming of putting in a pool this year, choosing the right company is the most important decision you'll make. I've trusted Stanley Pools to build my pool, renovate my pool, and maintain my pool. Stanley Pools has been the best in the business since 1988, and they're still family-owned. Call them today at 904-269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
Happy holidays, Googans. Santa Dan here. It's the holiday season, and that means hopefully more off time with the fam. Need a solid gift idea for the spouse or a specific family member? Beaches Dermatology can ensure that your special someone gets a great gift that won't break the bank and won't go hidden in a drawer. Botox, skin treatments, you name it, they have it. Take care of that spouse of yours this holiday season with a gift from Beaches Dermatology. Call today or go online at beachesdermatology.com.
Been in a car crash? I'm local attorney Rick Alexander, and I've made it our mission at the Alexander Law Practice to listen to you so I can fight for the best possible result for you. I've been practicing over 30 years, and our team focuses on guiding you through the entire process. And because fees and reimbursement costs come out at the end of the case, I will never ask you to come out of pocket. For a free review, call 904-400-6600 or log on to alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. Thank you for trusting us for 55 years of custom welding fabrication and vehicle towing accessories. When you need a trailer hitch for the family car, a gooseneck for the company truck, or even RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We can do a bumper hitch, fifth wheel hitch, anything for safe, reliable towing. Come to Cannons of Jacks, where service is our #1 priority and we treat our customers as we like to be treated. Check us out online, cannonsofjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. Jon Sumrall, 2 years at Troy, 2 years at Tulane, and now he's on his way to the University of Florida as he is the brand new Gator head football coach. What a crazy weekend it was. Auburn with a new coach, Arkansas with a new coach, of course Lane Kiffin going to LSU, and the big story locally is Jon Sumrall heading to the University of Florida. Let's talk about all of it with Mike Huguenin. The man's covered college football for years. I call him the college football encyclopedia, and Mike's always kind enough to join us here on 1010XL. Mike, how we doing, man?
Doing well. Hope you and your listeners had a good Thanksgiving. It's sort of sad that the college football regular season is over, but the playoff beckons, and it's going to be an interesting selection process. Let's just put it that way. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts still as we head into championship weekend.
And let's spend a little bit of time on that at the end. Mike, I mean, yesterday, and you've covered this game for a long time, have you ever seen anything like that? I mean, literally in the span of like 2 hours, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, LSU, and Ole Miss, all with brand new head coaches. I mean, that was wild.
Yeah, and it all depended on Kiffin. He was the fulcrum. I think last week when the news broke that Florida was looking elsewhere, and by all accounts, Auburn wanted Jon Sumrall, Ole Miss wanted Sumrall, and Arkansas wanted Golish. But I think when it came out that Florida was going to get Sumrall, Auburn sort of switched up, took Golish from Arkansas, and then I think the only reason Pete Golding was promoted at Ole Miss was to keep things in line for this year. I don't think anybody looks at Pete Golding and thinks, oh, this Ole Miss program is not going to miss a beat in the next 2 or 3 years. Yes, it is. And Arkansas is hiring Silverfield. That is, I don't find that particularly inspiring. He took over a program in Memphis that was a good one. They remain good, but that's about it. So I think Arkansas got short shrift of the SEC teams that actually hired from without. Sumrall, I can understand Florida fans' reluctance. You hired a G5 coach from Louisiana in Napier. He was an utter failure. Now you've hired another G5 coach from Louisiana, this one from Tulane, at least a better league. But I think if you take a step back, Sumrall is, I don't know, what's the word I want to use here? Sumrall is more highly regarded by athletic directors at this point in his career than Napier was when Florida hired him. Sumrall has experience in the SEC, and so did Napier. I think Sumrall, though, is he is definitely more enthusiastic on the sideline. I think he'll be much quicker to adjust and make changes. I also think he understands that, I can't bring my Tulane coaching staff with me, which is what Napier did when he came from Louisiana, and Scott Strickland let him do that. I think you can criticize Scott Strickland for not being a very good athletic director, and I don't think he is. Every one of his hires, except for Todd Golden, has been a failure. And obviously Golden was not a failure, but depending upon who you talk to, he was fine if Mike White had continued at Florida and not left for Georgia. So I think Sumrall it was a nice fallback candidate. He is well regarded. I think his staff obviously is going to be extremely important because I think that Napier's tenure showed that he was loath to move on from guys who did not do a good job. And a lot of those were his buddies, and I think it cost him in the long run. Plus, Napier's ego was such that he couldn't give up play calling, and I think that was obviously the biggest sticking point. But I don't think Sumrall is going to be that egotistical in terms of we're doing it my way and come hell or high water. I think Sumrall is known to adjust. I think he's a better hire than he's not a better hire than Kiffin, but he is a better hire than Golding, Golish, and Silverfield. I think easily. And Lane Kiffin brings his own set of issues, and this is going to be LSU is a dysfunctional athletic department. It's going to be fascinating to see how all this plays out. Also, they're paying Lane Kiffin buku bucks, and this is also a school that was looking to get out of paying Brian Kelly his buyout. So I'm extremely interested in finding out how LSU is going to fund all of this.
Mike Huguenin with us here on 1010XL in Jacksonville. Yeah, Lane Kiffin getting $13 million a year to coach the OSU Tigers. Back to John Sumrall. There is one very important distinguishing factor between Sumrall and Napier, and you mentioned a bunch of them. Sumrall is a defensive guy. That's his bread and butter, whereas Napier was an offensive guy that obviously did not translate to the University of Florida. So Sumrall, the hire he's going to make as the offensive coordinator is going to be very, very important. I've also been told through the grapevine out with people in New Orleans that Sumrall is a, quote, portal maniac in really attacking the transfer portal, which is something else that Billy Napier did not particularly do very well.
Yeah, he did not. And you're right. I mean, Tulane 2 years ago had Darian Mensah at quarterback. He was one of the most highly sought quarterbacks in the portal, went to Duke for in excess of $2 million. Tulane is back in the American Conference Championship game because of portal work. And, you know, Tulane, yeah, it's a G5 school that's been good, which means it's a G5 school that annually loses double-digit players who play a big role at Tulane. And in each of the past two off seasons, Sumrall and his staff did a really nice job of rebuilding the roster. Also, he spent 2 years at Troy. Troy had been a high-level program in the Sun Belt. Then it sunk to the bottom. And then in 2 years there, he played in the title game both times. He's been a head coach for 4 years. He's played in 4 title games. Now, obviously, he's not going to play in the SEC title game next year. But I think there is, you know, Florida fans, you know, I'm a Florida alum. I've lived in Florida most of my adult life. A lot of Florida fans, I'll be honest, don't know anything about coaching. Let's get serious here. So I can understand the furor about not getting Kiffin, because Kiffin would have come in and made offense fun again. And Florida really hasn't had a fun offense. It had a fun offense in 2020 when Kyle Trask was there, but before that it was 2009. So Sumrall is a defensive coach like Will Muschamp. He's the first defensive coach hired since Muschamp, but I think unlike Muschamp, who was a micromanager on both sides of the ball, Sumrall lets his offense alone. That's why his offensive coordinator hire and the position coach hires are vitally important. But I think Sumrall has the potential to put Florida in the running for a playoff spot every year if the NIL money is there. And considering some of the stuff that's floating out there in the webosphere about the lead Florida booster being a gigantic John Sumrall fan, my presumption would be that that guy would be willing to put his money where his mouth is in terms of NIL funding. So that is a potential positive for Florida. The money should be there for the roster.
Couple more from Mike Huguenin. Florida actually got a little fortunate that the North Carolina job did not go to Sumrall last year. About half of the big money boosters at North Carolina wanted Sumrall. My understanding, Mike, is that the big-time money boosters at North Carolina wanted Belichick, which is why Belichick is there. We see how that worked out for him. And as you said, Auburn wanted Sumrall. I believe Sumrall's wife is an Auburn alum. You mentioned Ole Miss wanted Sumrall. They got involved too late. And for some reason, Kentucky, where Sumrall played and coached, decided to fire Mark Stoops after Sumrall was off the market because they might have been very much in play for Sumrall.
Yeah, I think they would have been interested in Sumrall, but I think that even if he's an alum, he realizes Kentucky if you have a choice between Auburn, Ole Miss, and Florida, you ain't going to UK. The potential for Sumrall is he has solid potential at Florida to do good things. Again, I'm not saying he's an elite level championship winning coach, but he is an upgrade over Napier. That is an extremely low bar. I get that. But I think that, again, it seems the NIL money I'm 99% sure it will be there. So I think the roster management aspect, now that they have an NFL-centric GM, will be a positive as well. And evidently that was one of the sticking points with Kiffin. But I think that the NIL money for Florida will be there, which means Sumrall and Dave Caldwell, who I'm sure Jags fans cringe every time they hear his name. But he did spend the last 5 years with Howie Roseman. And presumably Howie Roseman, as a UF alum, said, hey, this guy's worth hiring at UF. So the roster management aspect, I think, might actually be better than it was under Napier.
Mike, as we begin to wrap up, we talk about all the jobs that are open and have been filled. Well, one that never came open was Florida State. Mike Norvell is going to remain, even despite going 2 years without winning a road game and losing 12 of his last 15 ACC matchups. I mean, on the surface, it appears that they just simply cannot afford to fire him. And if you're a Florida State fan listening right now, I just don't know what hope you have for 2026 with Mike Norvell returning.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think money is the reason. Yes, they improved by 3 wins over last year, but this is year 6. He's going to have to hit big in the portal again. I mean, the entire offensive line is gone. Unless Castellanos sues for another year, he's gone. And actually, if he does sue for another year, do you want him back? I think the running backs are interesting. I think were used poorly this year. Deuce Robinson, I can't see coming back. The linebacking core at FSU needs to be overhauled. They need better pass rushers, which means they need to spend a lot of money in the portal. At some point, though, I think that if you're an FSU booster giving money for NIL, sort of like at Florida with Napier, I want a return on my investment, and I ain't getting it. And, Norvell, deserves a ton of credit for being an early adapter to the portal. But I think the problem is the last two off seasons at least, he made a ton of poor choices out of the portal. And I think there's also a case of other schools have more money and got players that Florida State wanted. But, if I'm an FSU fan sitting here, we went 5-7. We've won 7 games in 2 years. This is not the FSU standard, and I'm a little bit irritated that the school president and the school AD are talking about a FSU standard when you're keeping a coach who won 7 games in 2 years. And, under Bowden, you won 7 games. You won 7 games in your first 7 games of a season for the most part. So FSU, they better hit on every single portal guy they bring in, because there's not a lot on that roster that's coming back that gives you high hopes for FSU next season.
Mike, we're up against it. We got 60 seconds. 12 playoff spots up for grabs. How many are already taken? How many are on the line this weekend?
I think there's 7 taken. I think there's maybe 5. I think if you want mass chaos, you pull for Duke in the ACC title game, because I think if Duke wins, the ACC will not have a team in the playoff. Because remember, it's the 5 highest-ranked conference champs. Potential exists that Duke ain't going to be in the top 25 this week, and I don't think they'd be in the top 25 next week. So if you want mass chaos, pull for Duke in the ACC championship game, which gives Miami hope that they can get in as an at-large.
It'll be crazy to see, and the 12-team playoff will begin in just a couple of weeks. Mike Huguenin, the man's covered it for years. He is the college football encyclopedia. Mike, I know you're busy on this very busy time. Thank you for taking time with us, and we'll talk again soon, pal.
Always enjoy it. Thanks, man.
How does number 9 feel about number 16?
All right, here we go.
Find out when David Garrard joins Mike and Fat Tony. Mondays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Restored by Resto Pros of Northeast Florida on 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
I'm Elizabeth Graham, Army veteran and owner of Bright Star Care of Ponte Vedra, West Jacksonville. Veterans caring for veterans, that's where the true understanding begins. Our nurse-led team brings skilled nursing, personal care, and companionship to veterans, seniors, adults, and children right in your home. From daily tasks to advanced care, we help your loved ones stay independent and comfortable at home. Call us anytime at 904-709-4446. Bright Star Care, a higher standard.
For your chance to win 4-day weekend VIP passes to the Welcome to Rockville Festival in Daytona Beach, May 15th to the 18th, text the word ROCK to the 1010XL text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures at 641-1010.
Bueller, stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, I'm worried.
You? Really? About what?
Well, I like to have a little seasonal potluck. Invite some friends and neighbors and guys from the office. But if the food gets spicy and the party gets rocking and that old toilet in the two-piece can't handle the traffic, well, what if my drain backs up right in the middle of everything?
Dude, imagine you're wearing my sunglasses.
Okay. Shoomp. Whoa.
If you're planning to host a holiday party and a blocked household drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, call us and tell us. The drain clearing experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing will unclog your drain for free.
You do that for free?
It's Christmas.
Yeah, but for free?
The holidays can get pretty hectic. If a clogged drain line threatens to ruin the whole thing, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
If you are an experienced electrician looking for your next big opportunity, look no further than the Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller Electric, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering you the chance to showcase your skills on a grand scale. We believe in rewarding hard work with the best pay, top-notch benefits, and an unbeatable culture where people actually care about each other. Take your career to new heights with Miller Electric Company. Apply today at millercareers.com. Miller Electric, an equal opportunity employer.
Hey folks, Frank Franzi here for Lee & Kate's Glass. Now with the holidays coming, it's time to update that dated-looking bathroom setup and give yourself the gift of a gorgeous new frameless shower with big sexy glass you spend every morning and night in that bathroom. A new shower enclosure from Lee & Kate's Glass will look fantastic and make your bathroom feel like a luxurious spa. You'll love it. You deserve it. Request the free in-home consultation. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
You're gonna see a big difference.
Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized Cash Rewards or unlimited Cash Rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America NA in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. Warrants reserved.
What NFL quarterback connected on TD passes with 98 different players during his career?
For over 20 years, Southern Oak Insurance has given Floridians a better alternative to their current homeowner's policy. See what you can get with Southern Oak. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Tom Brady threw 105 touchdown passes to Rob Gronkowski, but there are 97 other players who caught at least one.
Southern Oak Insurance, our family protecting yours.
See the shots and feel the excitement of an international sporting event for free. The Predator Pro Billiard Series comes to Jacksonville December 16th to the 21st at the Hyatt Riverfront downtown. See top pool pros from 40 countries compete in both men's and women's tournaments. This is high stakes, high skill, championship level billiards, and admission is free. No tickets needed. Don't miss the Predator Pro Billiard Series at the Hyatt Riverfront Hotel. Details at probilliardseries.com.
The holidays are here, and before you hit the road, make sure your car is ready. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, you'll get an expert oil change in 15 minutes with no appointment, and you never leave your car. Stop by any of their convenient Jacksonville locations and let the pros get you holiday travel ready. With a 4.7 national customer rating and ranked #1 quick lube in America by Forbes, Valvoline gives you quick, trusted service when it matters most. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Drive in today and travel with confidence this holiday season.
Are you looking for a place to outfit your truck or van? It's Catlin Truck Accessories. For 105 years and 4 generations, Catlin is the name you can count on. This is Keith Catlin, and we know trucks and vans too, from Lear toppers, ladder racks, van shelving, strobe lighting, roll and lock bed covers, and everything in between. If you want quality product and great customer service, there's only one name. It's Catlin.
Who can you count on? Count on Catlin.
For 105 years, you can count on Catlin.
Your home deserves more than just another coat of paint. It deserves quality that lasts. At First Coast Paint, you'll find premium Benjamin Moore products, trusted advice, and the local experts who help you get it right the first time. Whether it's your living room, your porch, or your whole house, First Coast Paint brings your paint project to life. Stores in St. John's and St. Augustine. One name Jacksonville Trust. Mention 1010XL for 10% off. First Coast Paint. Simply superior paint.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Halftime, Hacker After Dark, 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. We'll take you up till 10 o'clock as we do every night here on 1010XL and on 92.5 FM. Coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, Gerald Ingram, 18 years, is a running back coach in the National Football League. You hear him every week with me and Leon Searcy on the 5th quarter. We will talk to the coach about the Jaguars and the Colts coming up this Sunday, get his thoughts, his analysis. So some NFL conversation coming up in less than 15 minutes. Also towards the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour, my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark as we take a look at championship weekend. 4 college football games going on right now. James Madison leads Troy in the Sun Belt title game 17-14. Conference USA, Kennesaw State up on Jacksonville State 10-0. The American Championship, Gator fans, this is John Sumrall and his Tulane team, who he's coaching tonight. Tulane leads North Texas 14-7, 12 minutes to go in the first half. The winner of that game all but guaranteed a spot in the college football playoff. Also, the Mountain West Championship, Boise State leads UNLV 14-0. You got, 5 more games tomorrow, including number 1 versus number 2, Ohio State, Indiana, in the Big Ten title game. You got Georgia, Alabama in the SEC title game. And a weird scenario in the ACC title game, Duke plays Virginia. If Duke wins that game, there is a better chance than not that a team like James Madison, with a win tonight, could get in, and all the ACC teams could be left at the altar. Remember, the rule of the college football playoff, it is the 5 highest-ranked conference champions. Doesn't say anything about the Power 4. And James Madison, as a conference champion, would be ranked higher than Duke as a conference champion if Duke were to win tomorrow, which would be a crazy scenario if, say, a Tulane and a James Madison were to get in the college football playoff. Speaking of the playoffs, the high school football playoffs, we got 4 teams playing tonight in their state semifinals. In fact, one game has already gone final. Denmark, no real surprise here. But Chaminade Madonna down in South Florida has ended Trinity Christian season. Trinity Christian falls 35-0. I'll say this about Trinity. They were young. They started, I think, 0-4 this year. And to get all the way to the state semifinals, Denmark, what a job by Verlin Dormany and Trinity. That'll be a tough bus ride back home for them. But I think after a couple of days with that young football team, from the way they started to getting all the way to the Final Four, they're going to feel pretty good about things.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of those losses early in the year were to Bowls and Reigns, two teams that are going to be playing at the state championships. So no love lost, from those games early in the season. But it's, I mean, Trinity's a good team, but Chaminade is one of the best teams in the state.
You mentioned Bowls. They are on their way to the 2A state championship game that will take place next week. They are destroying Cardinal Gibbons 48-14. Reigns is on their way to the 3A state championship game. They're destroying Sarasota Booker 28-0. Unfortunately, it looks like the season is about to come to an end for Ponte Vedra. Although it is respectable, they're playing Lakeland, the powerhouse in Lakeland. Lakeland leads 27-11 in the fourth quarter. Certainly a respectable showing for Ponte Vedra, but it does appear Lakeland will advance. Denmark, 2 teams in the state championship games for their given classifications. That's about what we expected, right? I think if you were to ask most people before the year how many teams in our area play for state titles, I think most people would have told you probably 1 or 2, and the fact that we get 2 in, Bowls and Reigns, really good year for the area in totality.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Reigns is going to end up playing, looks like, Miami Northwestern again. No surprise there.
That did not go well for Reigns last year.
And Bowles is going to play, Cardinal and Mooney. There's only 2 really good teams in 2A all year. So, and Cardinal Mooney's blowing out Cocoa 26-0. So.
Are the state championship games next week?
Yeah, Bowles plays Wednesday.
Bowles plays Wednesday. Wow, in 5 days? Wow, when's the Reigns game? Do we know?
I believe it's Saturday night like it was last year.
Okay, so Reigns has a full week. That's crazy. They're going to make Bowles and Cardinal Mooney play 5 days from now.
Yeah, well, and they just announced it the other day.
Yeah, I don't like that. Where are the games at?
Miami.
So Bowles is going to win tonight. They have 5 days. Well, they really have 4 days to prepare. They're probably going to go down a day early, and they have to drive 6 hours to Miami for the championship game.
Yeah, go to Florida International Pitbull Stadium.
Wow. All right. Well, hey, it's better than the alternative, because the alternative means they're not playing next week. I'm sure Matt Tobel and the Bowles Bulldogs will certainly take it. Jaguars, Colts, Sunday, 1 o'clock. Again, like I told you guys in hour number 1, I think Jacksonville is going to get Indianapolis's best shot. Indy's lost 3 out of 4. They know about the streak. They are going to come out with their hair on fire, much like Kansas City did on Monday night back in October. To me, it's probably as vital as it is for Jacksonville, and it is vitally important. It is probably a must-win for Indianapolis, knowing they still have road games at Seattle, at Houston, and home games against San Francisco and Jacksonville. With all that being said, I think Jacksonville will take Indy's best shot, and I think Jacksonville, very similar to Kansas City, will find a way in the fourth quarter. I think it will be nail-biting time with 5 minutes to go, but give me Jacksonville 27, give me Indianapolis 24, and we will be celebrating on the fifth quarter Sunday night. Speaking of the fifth quarter, you get myself, you get the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy, and you also get the coach, Gerald Ingram, 18 years as a running back coach in the National Football League. Let's talk about the 8-4 Jaguars, and let's preview with one more guest this week. Gerald Ingram gets his thoughts out there on the Jags and the Colts this Sunday. We're with you till 10 o'clock, Jacksonville. We're glad you're with us. Hacker After Dark on a Friday, heading into a big NFL weekend here in Northeast Florida, and we're glad you're with us. 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
That's why we give you Pre-Game Friday. Get the news, notes, and inside stuff you need to get ready for game day.
You like that?
Built by Dream Finders Homes on 1010XL.
Truth Teller here, and I've solved all of your holiday problems and stress. A gift card from the Blue Crab Crab House. Get this, you buy a $50 gift card, and you get an additional $15 card for free. It's that simple, and as always at the Blue Crab Crab House, the best crabs in Jacksonville, oysters and seafood, period. Blue Crab Crab House, open every day except for Monday, off of San Jose on Jewington Creek Road.
Hosting the family holiday dinner can be a beautiful experience until your kitchen sink backs up before you've even served dinner.
Who tried to wash cookie dough down the drain?
We were making cookies for Santa and the reindeer. The reindeer like chocolate chip, too.
Great. Now we need a plumber and a new garbage disposal.
Superior Plumbing and Pipelining is no stranger to holiday plumbing problems. Don't let plumbing problems disrupt your holiday dinner. Superior Plumbing and Pipelining has you covered this holiday season. Learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On December 5th, 2018, Warriors guard Klay Thompson scores 60 points in only 29 minutes of play, and he dribbled only 11 times.
Look around and we know you've got options for gasoline, but those other places, they're not in the business of more. At Shell, that's what you get every day. Members get more rewards, more savings, more special offers. You'll even get 10 cents per gallon off of your first fill when you sign up, and save on every fill after that. Choose to get more and more with every drive. Join the Shell Fuel Rewards program today at fuelrewards.com. Offer valid at participating Shell locations. Offer must be redeemed within 60 days of registration. Limit 20 gallons. Restrictions apply. Visit fuelrewards.com for more information.
Your home is your sanctuary where memories are made. Jack's homeowners trust Superior Fence and Rail to make their home feel safe, secure, and complete. Imagine a classic wood fence for privacy, sturdy aluminum to protect your pets, or a modern vinyl design that boosts curb appeal. Every fence is built with precision and pride, standing strong in every season.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
This holiday season, Universal Roofing Contracting is making it easy to check roof repairs off your list. Save up to 20% on roof replacements and repairs now through December 31st. Financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roofing Contracting, protecting your home and building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Ready to take your gift giving to the limit? Hey, I'm Ben Kay, owner of Gotham City Limit, your local comic shop, inviting you to stop by and see how we can help this holiday season. From comics to collectibles, community, and more, visit GothamCityLimit.com and always take it to the limit.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops, windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval!
Custom Home Builders. Fed up with your electrical and low voltage companies that ghost you mid-project, sparking delays? Unreliable subs and poor electrical work that derails your schedules? Denny Thompson here for Tyson Inc., experts in seamless electrical services for your custom builds. Pre-construction planning, integration, and installation, no hassle. Your homeowners will love the new Tyson showroom. Home builders team up with Tyson for your next home building project. TysonInc.com.
If you're looking to deck the halls, Jacksonville Flower Market off Beach and Southside has holiday decor, centerpieces, garlands, and Christmas trees. Make your day merry with 10% off your holiday purchase at Jacksonville Flower Market.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, another great guest on the Checkmate Coatings phone line. Hello. Your floor's missing piece.
Back here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. We got a big one at Everbank Stadium on Sunday. The Jaguars and the Colts, a battle of 8 and 4 teams here Sunday at 1 o'clock. Of course, 2 hours after that game goes final, you'll have the fifth quarter with myself, the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy, and the coach Gerald Ingram. And let's talk to a man with 18 years of running back coach experience in the National Football League. My buddy Gerald Ingram, always kind enough to join us here on Hacker After Dark. Coach, how we doing?
Oh, it's a great morning in Jacksonville. Be 8 and 4 and
finding ways to win in December is what it's all about.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And look, last Sunday against the Titans, Coach, I mean, Thanksgiving week, you're playing a 1-10 team. It was a half-empty stadium. You got a big one against the Colts. There were all sorts of reasons why this Jaguar team may, quote, look ahead or a trap game or whatever you want to call it. But they went out there and pretty early established dominance, and you knew the Jaguars were going to get out of there with a win. I thought it was maybe their most dominating effort on the road this season.
It was definitely a dominating win to begin with, especially on defense. And, you know, they went in there with the business hat on, and they did what they were supposed to do. And you know, they didn't fall trap to it all. You know, because anything could happen in the NFL, but that wasn't going to happen yesterday, and hopefully put ourselves in position to control where we are.
Coach, what were your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence's performance in the win over Tennessee?
Well, I thought it was a much-needed game for him, and you know, when we weren't able to run the ball early, that he played a pretty good game. He controlled the team. He ran the ball when he needed to. He protected the ball. You know, there were no turnovers. There were some good things out of him that we needed to see out of him. That, you know, he's the reason why in the past game, you know, was successful early. You know, second half was a little bit, you know, got a little bit sloppy here and there, but still wasn't at his fault. It was probably his most accurate game to date, you know, that he played, and he's got to continue to progress. And hey, in the month of December, he's got to show that, because, you know, everybody every year talks about peak time, and hopefully getting some players back on this team, and you know, what we've had to occur with the offensive line, fighting through some things, it didn't bother him, so it was good. I thought it was his best game.
The coach, Gerald Ingram, with us here on Hacker After Dark. You really see the chemistry, Coach, that Trevor is developing with Jakobi Meyers. It was Meyers' best game as a Jaguar. 6 catches, 90 yards, and a touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. also back in the fold. Britton Strange found the end zone. We'll wait and see about Parker Washington. We know he left the game on Sunday with an injury, was questionable to come back, ultimately ruled out there in the second half. But clearly, with the return of BTJ and the emergence of Jakobi Meyers, the Jaguars do have a lot of talent now at those skill positions.
Oh, he was, I mean, when you talk about Jakobi Meyers, it's the best acquisition you can think of. At the end of the year, they'll be talking about the difference maker in the pass game for Trevor Lawrence and the receiver group. And, you know, Edgar Bennett's doing a phenomenal job with those guys. And hopefully we get as many as we can healthy again. And, you know, you look at what Patrick has been able to do for us. I mean, Parker Washington been able to do for us, and, you know, and hopefully he's healthy. But Jakobi is a steady guy. He makes it look very effortless to catch the ball and run routes. And he is definitely a key asset on offense in the pass game.
It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows on Sunday, Coach. You coached running backs for 18 years. You obviously know a thing or two about the running game. The Jaguars had a lack of running game on Sunday. I believe 27 carries for just 70 yards. What do you attribute that to?
Well, we had to find a way to stop the defense. Actually, one key defensive player, Simmons, is a really good player, but you know, I think once the flow of the game and how the game was going, he was trusting the pass game. Some of the runs came, you know, towards the end of the game as far as running the clock out, but it wasn't our best, you know, and then we had to shuffle players here and there. But obviously it was an area they thought they had to stop. And, you know, defenses felt that they feel that if they can make us one-dimensional and force Trevor to throw, that he would make mistakes. And that didn't occur for them.
Did not, and the Jaguars get a 25-3 victory. The defense for the Jaguars did not allow Tennessee to find the end zone. In fact, Tennessee's only scoring drive on Sunday was the opening drive of the game. I think they had 188 of total offense and yardage. 70 of that 188 was on the opening drive. The Jaguars completely shut them down after that. Again, a tribute to the players and to Anthony Campanile and that defensive staff for making those adjustments after that opening drive.
the defense played extremely well, especially with not having Walker and Eric, and they did a really good job in their game plan, making the adjustments they need to. I mean, they got 2 takeaways, 3 points out of the whole game, and that's what we're going to need going into December and January to play. Our defense, if we can keep people into a low-scoring game, a very confident, aggressive defense, a very smart, calculating type defense, I'll put our kicker and our coach. And as long as we don't turn the ball over in any way, I put ourselves in a pretty good chance of doing some things in the playoffs.
Final moments with the coach, Gerald Ingram. Coach, I want to get to Indianapolis in a moment, but you mentioned Liam Cohen. The Jaguars were 4-13 last year. They had only won 5 of their previous 23 games prior to Cohen's arrival, and yet here we are, the first week in December. Cohen and this staff have them 8-4, currently in first place in the AFC South. From a coaching perspective, just talk about the job you feel Liam Cohen has done here in year number 1.
Oh, I think he's done a phenomenal job of getting the players to understand the message. And whenever you're able each Sunday to get them to respond to the message and see the message work in itself, that means you've done a great job at coaching. It doesn't matter how good you think you are, it's how the players respond on the field, and that's what's really showing. I think his demeanor, I think his message, I think everything that he's tried to put into it, and trying to cross every T and every dot that he can, I think he's doing a really good job.
Coach, it's a big one on Sunday. There's no doubt about that. You don't want to make it bigger than it is, but for what it is, it's the 8-4 Colts, the 8-4 Jaguars. The winner will have first place outright in the AFC South. And look, with Indianapolis, it's not rocket science. You got to stop Jonathan Taylor. And the last 2 teams, Kansas City and Houston, that have beat Indy, have said, all right, we're going to stop Jonathan Taylor. We're not going to let him beat us. Daniel Jones, if you can beat us, more power to you. Daniel Jones has not been able to do that. Is that the Jaguar strategy? Load the box to stop Taylor and make Daniel Jones beat you?
Oh, definitely you have to do that because he is their number 1 player. And it's the same thing that we try to do is, establish the run game. But if we can make them one-dimensional and, Jonathan, he also has an injury that he's fighting. And if you can attack him and panic him as best you can, you got a chance. But number 1 thing as a coach you try to do is win your division. So this is a pride game. So it is a big game because, they're the team. They're the one team that you have to beat in our division right now to win the division. So let's go out and find a way to win the division 1 game at a time.
Coach, there is no doubt the Colts appear to be leaking oil a little bit. All was right with the world. I think they were, 6-1 or 7-1. They're now 8-4. And the narrative all along with them was good team, but maybe beating up on lesser competition. Now that they're playing the Kansas Cities and the Houstons of the world, they've lost a couple of games. What is your thought on Indianapolis coming in here on Sunday?
Well, I think they're just like us. Sooner or later a team in the NFL feels enough is enough and you're tired of not being there and not winning. You just, you have this new emergence of how good you can be. And the quarterback, their quarterback feels the same way. He's been ousted out of New York and found a new home in Indianapolis, and people started to rally around him, and people feel, hey, they have as good a shot as any. They were able to experience it early in the season, and through injuries and whatever happens, it's a long season. So they feel they have as good a shot as we do, and they're willing to fight for it, and so are we.
As we wrap up, Coach, the game being at home, being at Everbank Stadium in Jacksonville, this is a huge game, a huge opportunity for the Jaguars. In fact, their next 2 games are at home. They have the Colts at home and the Jets at home. We know the place will be rocking. It's going to be a great environment on Sunday. We'll have the 5th quarter 2 hours after the game goes final. But just speak to the fact of how important this game is for Jacksonville being at home, knowing we have to go to Indianapolis in a couple of weeks.
No, it's going to be a huge game, and for the people here in Jacksonville, it's going to be great to see everybody come out and support their team and be a loud crowd and making a difference in the victory that we're going to see this weekend. But it's exciting when we're in the hunt.
Coach, it's early in the week. We'll obviously recap it all on Sunday, but as we say goodbye, what's your early feeling on the Colts-Jaguars? Do you like Jacksonville's chances?
Oh, I very much like Jacksonville's chances right now. I think if we do what we need to do, take care of the ball, run the ball, but win the time of possessions and third down, we got a good shot. And our defense playing good, solid defense that we played most of the majority of this year, I think we got a really good chance of winning this game.
The coach, Gerald Ingram, you get him every week here on Hacker After Dark, and you also get him every Sunday, 2 hours after the Jaguars games goes final. Myself, the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy, and the coach have the fifth quarter for you, and that will be the case this Sunday, 2 hours after the Jaguars and the Colts. Coach, have a terrific week. I will see you Sunday evening, my friend.
Duval. Gotta love it.
Believe in the unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
1010XL.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
We're hearing is believing.
Unbelievable.
Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi are on a mission to sell 2,000 vehicles this December. I've instructed my team to take every reasonable offer. We won't lose your business over price. Thousands of cars, trucks, and SUVs priced to move. Get year-end savings, top dollar for your trade, and the easiest car buying experience ever. But hurry, these deals end when we hit 2,000, and we ain't leaving nothing on the table. Make it a December to remember, only at Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi.
Come to Monahan Jewelers' 48th annual holiday sale now with up to 30% off on GIA certified diamonds and up to 40% off our entire store. Certified diamonds, gemstones, engagement rings, diamond studs, designer brands. We're not a big box store. We're your local family jeweler with an amazing hand-picked inventory for every budget. And with interest-free financing, enjoy beautiful jewelry with a low monthly payment. Support your local family jeweler this Christmas with up to 40% off our entire inventory. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach open 7 days a week in December.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick. We're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year, and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees. About $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org, and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
With the holidays right around the corner and it's time to get ready for family and friends, what better way to do it than with Zero Res? Carpets, air ducts, hardwood, LVP, tile and grout, upholstery, rugs, and stone. Zero Res, they can handle it all. Call right now, 287-5727, or visit ZeroResJacksonville.com. Tell them you want the 1010XL special and get 20% off all hard surface cleaning, tile and grout, hardwood, and LVP. Spots are filling up fast, so don't wait. Happy holidays from all of us at Zero Res.
Here's your 1010XL First Coast Community Calendar.
Dreams Come True is a local wish-granting organization giving dreams and special times to local children battling life-threatening illnesses. Find out how you can help at dreamscometrue.org.
The Wounded Warrior Project provides what medicine and technology can't: community, counseling, and a second chance. Find ways to help at woundedwarriorproject.org.
If you're between ages 16 and 24, you can learn a career in construction, electrical, plumbing, or masonry with free training from the AMI Kids Florida Registered Free Apprenticeship Program. Call 576-7337.
There's a critical need for all blood types. Please consider donating at a local blood donation center.
If you could benefit from a grief and loss support group, call Haven Hospice at 279-1677.
If you're involved in a community event and you'd like us to help spread the word, find out how at 1010XL.com.
Happy holidays, Googans. Santa Dan here. It's the holiday season, and that means hopefully more off time with the fam. Need a solid gift idea for the spouse or a specific family member? Beaches Dermatology can ensure that your special someone gets a great gift that won't break the bank and won't go hidden in a drawer. Botox, skin treatments, you name it, they have it. Take care of that spouse of yours this holiday season with a gift from Beaches Dermatology. Call today or go online at peachesdermatology.com.
At Cannons of Jacksonville, they know that when you're towing anything, you gotta have products you can rely on. With over 50 years of fabrication expertise, the family at Cannons can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Whether it's a heavy-duty hitch, trailer frame, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons will provide you with unmatched precision and durability. For all your towing needs, visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
Back here on 1010XL at 92.5 FM in the city of Jacksonville. We are glad you are with us. Boy, there is a ton going on. The college football playoff rankings. We got championship weekend on the horizon. Of course, we have new head coaches all over the Southeastern Conference, which obviously is also included in that. John Sumrall from Tulane, now to the University of Florida. Let's talk about all of it with my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Mr. Beard, how are you, my friend?
Well, it's always good to be with you, Hank. And one thing that we won't get into very much is we've got recruiting and National Signing Day. I say days with plural. That's going on this week, too, as if these coaches needed something else to do. And that's something we get into more in the off season. But, Hank, at some point you've got to make this calendar where it works for you instead of it hurting you. And where we're heading with recruiting is it's going to eventually be moved to either July or August. They'll probably keep the February date, which they've always had. So imagine trying to get ready. We teased about John Sumrall, but imagine coming in with your Sumrall, having to deal with recruiting, signing day, and all the other stuff that's going on. But the coaches need to do something about their calendar at some point, don't they?
I mean, literally, Kentucky and Penn State do not have coaches right now. And it's signing week, and it's just absolutely crazy. All right, let's not bury the lead. John Sumrall, the brand new head coach at the University of Florida. Brent Beard, your reaction to that hire?
Well, I think it's a pretty good hire, frankly. I know they flirted with Lane Kiffin and what went on behind the scenes, particularly with the AD office and also with Kiffin. We either know or may not ever know. But look, Sumrall's 43 years old, 42-11. I mean, he did a good job at Troy and at Tulane. I thought he did a good job during the press conference. Now, look, you don't win games because of your press conference, but he seemed to adjust well to the moment. I didn't think the moment was too big for him. So for the small sample size we've got, I think so far so good. Most folks know I've got a twin brother who does radio in North Alabama, and Sumrall is basically from there, at least lived there for a while, played up there and so forth. So he's got a pretty good reputation around, has done well at the programs where he's gone to. But again, Hank, that's not the SEC, is it? So, and that remains to be seen.
No, it certainly remains to be seen. And I was going to ask you, with your ties in the state of Alabama, you mentioned your brother Brett, who does sports radio out there. Auburn appeared to be certainly in play for Sumrall. Maybe Florida kind of snatched him from out of Auburn's grasp. Also, North Carolina last year A lot of people up there wanted Sumrall, but the big money boosters wanted Belichick. So for whatever it means, Brent, this was certainly a guy that appeared to be in demand.
No, yeah, there's no question about that. And look, I mean, if anybody who heard the press conference, I mean, he did a pretty good job with that. He deserves credit. What he will be judged on will be what he does on the field. But at the same time, Florida fans are looking for a ray of hope and a ray of sunshine, and hopefully that he got one. The other interesting part of this is the people he's bringing in, and one of these people, shall we say, is David Caldwell, who I think folks here are rather familiar with. Now, he has been with the Eagles for a while, so it's going to be interesting what kind of staff that he brings in, and obviously we know Caldwell from his time here in Jacksonville, so he's getting his staff together at this point, and that will be interesting. But I mean, look, for the small sample size we've got, Hack, with what he's done and what he said, I mean, I think he's done a pretty good job at this point. And one thing that's really good to see, unlike what you had with Billy Napier, is Sumrall is willing to bring in coordinators and let them do their job.
Well, and to that point, again, Brent Beard, you see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him right here on Hacker After Dark. The big hire for Sumrall will be the offensive coordinator, because Sumrall is a defensive guy. He played linebacker at the University of Kentucky, and reportedly he's already gone back to Kentucky to bring in his first hire on staff with the defensive coordinator formerly of the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, and look, as he brings the staff together, and I think he'll do a pretty good job with that. Now, look, there's nothing he can really do about recruiting either. I mean, they will turn a player or two, but when you just land at a school and you're facing recruiting week, there virtually is very little you can do about it except follow up on who they've got. Now, what will be more interesting, frankly, will be after this time he gets settled a little bit, and who he brings in the portal, right, Hank? That's going to be, and he may end up having to go somewhat portal heavy. It's not that they don't have talent coming back, because they do, but that's just the nature of the beast. He'll do what he can this week. They'll smile and take pictures, and he'll be fine, and I think he will. But he'll have to make up some ground in the portal, and he's got the ability to do that.
And of course, Florida is letting Sumrall coach Tulane in the American Conference Championship game Friday night, and potentially Tulane could still be in play for the college football playoff. By the way, Brad White, the defensive coordinator of Kentucky, he was actually the linebacker coach and the defensive coordinator under Mark Stoops there for the last 5 or 6 years, reportedly is Sumrall's first hire at the University of Florida. Brent, I want to spend some time on the college football playoff, but briefly, wherever you want to go, whether it's Kiffin at LSU, Golish at Auburn, the brand new head coach at Arkansas, obviously the promotion at Ole Miss of the defensive coordinator. Obviously, there was a ton that transpired on Sunday.
Lord, it's dizzying, isn't it, Hank? Frankly, Ryan Silverfield goes from Memphis to Arkansas. I mean, he did a pretty good job at Arkansas, at Memphis, frankly. I will be very curious about where some of these hires are going. I'll also be very curious, Hank, is where does Bobby Petrino go at Arkansas? I mean, frankly, he did a pretty good job with that offense. The defense was the problem there during this time, too. So Golish from South Florida is a new coach at Auburn. And that will be interesting to see where that is going to go. Cody Burns, who quarterback at Auburn, is going to be the co-offensive coordinator to kind of see where that one's going to go too. I mean, obviously a lot of the attention has been on Lane Kiffin and how that works. He is obviously at LSU. They're not going to let him coach in the playoffs, which I get some of that, and obviously because you're talking about Ole Miss and LSU being rivals, he won't have the opportunity to be able to do that. The Kiffin situation was a mess in some ways, to say the least. Although I do think Kiffin has grown up some, and I give him some credit for that. Some of his decisions, I don't think you could that you could go with that though. So it has been, frankly, an absolute trying to keep up with what's going on off the field in the SEC. And you and I have talked about this, haven't we, Hank? It's really dominated more than the games on the field, and I'm kind of glad to see this coming to a close.
Yeah, there's no doubt. SEC Media Days will be interesting next year. You'll have 6 brand new head coaches in the 16 conference teams of the Southeastern Conference. All right, Brent, as we begin to wrap up, let's focus on Championship Saturday, or I guess Championship Weekend. Some of them are on Friday, and the college football playoff. I think first and foremost, for Miami fans in our audience, they're probably fuming, and I think they have a right to be. Notre Dame came into the newest playoff rankings at 10. Miami came in at 12. Both teams lost twice. Miami beat Notre Dame. Obviously, the committee is not taking that into account. Neither team plays this weekend, so one would think Miami's just simply not going to jump Notre Dame because both are no longer playing games, and it looks like Notre Dame might be in and Miami might be out.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate. Miami really had a pretty good win, frankly, over Pitt over the weekend, so they were impressive there. Next year we're going to 16 teams. This year we're at 12. So the point is, Miami would have probably gotten in. Well, I think they very well would have gotten in if we were at 16. But again, it's not a fair situation. See, the other problem is bringing in some of the other teams in the smaller schools. I know that's a part of the equation, and this is the discussion on the other day too. I still think the smaller schools, the group of 4 or 5, however you want to call that, we mentioned Tulane a few minutes ago, is one of those teams. I still think those schools, Hank, if they expand this thing to 16, those schools really ought to get together and have their own playoff. And you'd have more than just one of them that would be involved with that at this point too. So, I kind of get all sides of that. It's not fair for schools like Miami. That's the problem, and they deserve a shot at it. But look, the reality of it is, it really makes you wonder, particularly with the ACC. I mean, what in the world are they going to do if Duke wins and where this thing's going to go? So it could be a very tough year for the ACC.
I mean, literally, if Duke beats Virginia, the ACC may not get a team in because they are not guaranteed. It's the top 5 highest-ranked conference champions. It doesn't say anything about the top Power 4 conference champions, and Duke is a 5-loss team that's for some reason playing in the ACC championship game. Quickly, Brent, we got about 90 seconds. Alabama, I don't think, should be penalized for playing in the SEC title game. I'll tell you what's going to be fascinating, though, man. If BYU beats Texas Tech and if Alabama loses to Georgia, I mean, we got problems, right? Alabama could play in the SEC title game and potentially get knocked out.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's true. And again, we really don't know where this season can go. When you hit on it, the BYU game is going to be essential. Now, Texas Tech beat them before, and they'll probably do it again, but that's what you don't know when you get in these games. So, frankly, the thing that Alabama needs to do is either obviously win or at least keep it a close game. And as we know, they have certainly had a hex over Georgia and dominated the series as of late. So, and Hank, this is a discussion for us on another day, but what we're seeing happening here is to where, and the question is being brought up, are these championship games really worth it? Teams want to be SEC champions. I get that, but we're swinging toward what matters is the playoff. In what direction do we go to make this more fair instead of having a repeat of an Alabama, Georgia, whoever it might be?
And I'll give you a crazy scenario in closing. We talk about the top 5 highest-rated champions. You know, the SEC champions getting in, the Big Ten champions getting in, the Big 12 champions getting in. Imagine a world, Brent, where Duke beats Virginia. Then the winner of the American would absolutely be in, North Texas, Tulane. And James Madison, if they win the Sun Belt, would be certainly ranked higher than Duke. So you could have Tulane and James Madison as conference champions because they're 2 of the 5 highest-rated conference champions and they could take a spot away from a Miami or a BYU or even an Alabama. It's going to be a wild scenario.
Well, and to your point, James Madison's 19, North Texas is 20, and Tulane's 21. How about that? So you're right. And at that point, the screaming and gnashing of teeth would be intense, would it not?
You see Brent Beard on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Brent, enjoy championship weekend. We'll be back to recap. And you as a Heisman voter, you have a very important decision coming up in the next couple of days. Thank you as always, my friend.
Deadline is Monday at 5 for Heisman voters. But, Hank, it's been a wild week so far, and it will be as it continues to.
And thank you to my buddy Brent Beard. You see him locally on First Coast News. You also get him weekly right here on Hacker After Dark. Is what a week it was in the SEC. John Sumrall to Florida. Obviously, we spent a lot of time on that. Lane Kiffin to LSU. All the coaching happenings at Kentucky, Auburn, Arkansas. Go on down the line. Just a crazy amount of turnover in the Southeastern Conference. Of course, Ole Miss as well. And you got the college football championship weekend. It's already underway. There's a handful of games tonight. You got certainly the 4 big ones tomorrow, including Indiana, Ohio State, 1 versus 2. You got Georgia, Alabama tomorrow. And then we will find out, I guess, on Sunday, the college football playoff, the 12 teams that will ultimately get in. So we certainly spent a lot of time on that. But as you can imagine, it was an overwhelming majority on the Jacksonville Jaguars, the big one on Sunday against Indianapolis. I've actually gone back and forth on this one all week. I absolutely can see a world where Indianapolis comes in here and wins. Backs are against the wall, haven't won in Jacksonville in forever. I can definitely see an Indianapolis victory. But I just think this Jacksonville team is built different. I think this coaching staff will have them ready. They're going to be at home. I think that's a big deal at Everbank Stadium. I have no doubt that place will be rocking Sunday at 1 o'clock. Give